What's up, everybody? Welcome to Johnny I Pro Show. I have here no other than Vinny Pacifico. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, John.
It's about time. We've been talking for a long time.
Yes, we have, yeah.
We're trying to set up, and you are here now. Is it you had a layover, I'm assuming, obviously, or you're a busy guy? Your schedule's all over.
I was just in California, and I flew home for one day, and now I'm back here. So, yeah, it's been nonstop.
How's Toronto so far? Is it your first time around, or you've been here before?
I've been to Toronto a few times for wrestling. Love it. Last time I was here with my wife, I did a show in Toronto, and we did Casa Loma.
Oh, wow.
So much fun. And it was, if you're in Toronto and you have time to just navigate the day, go to Casa Loma.
Oh, Casa Loma. Okay, that's near me, actually. That's an iconic
there?
spot. Yeah, I live near there.
Okay,
so
cool.
It's iconic.
It's great.
Exactly. Now, everybody knows you guys, obviously, for the wrestling and stuff, so much you've done for all these years, but you're into the movie scene now.
Yeah, it's been a blessing to be able to do both, right? And I will say this, I've never realized how much wrestling's helped me in more ways than wrestling, right? Because being on set doing movies now, things come along somewhat easier at some points, right? Like improv, cutting promos. Like it was very easy for me to do certain roles, certain things in the film that I was just doing, and I feel as if I had wrestled before and I just went in doing that, I wouldn't have done what I done, right? So it's very beneficial that I've wrestled and done what I done wrestling and whatever to now movies also, where it's like I utilize my ability from wrestling into the film.
Amazing. Now, as the Halloween season's approaching, Crimson's Harvest, let's talk about that.
Oh my gosh, that was like a horror movie I filmed last week. I was playing a evil detective cop. It was it was so cool. But I utilize my heel ability from wrestling, right? I promo ability, and I utilize that to the best of my ability. And I think I impressed people on set, and they invited me to HorrorCon, where I met more directors and stuff like that. And it was just a really cool opportunity to be able to be on set filming at a farm, a horror movie, and go out there and just kill it and be my best. And they gave me the chance to. I was improv. They gave me no lines. Said, you do this. These are your guidelines of what we want you to say, and we believe you could do it without actual lines. So I did all improv the whole movie.
That's amazing.
And it was really cool. Really
and as well, before we were starting here as well, you're telling me all these other movies as well. Family Ties?
Yeah, Family Ties. Matthew Raymond, director. That one was really, really fun. That was in LA last week. So in LA, they have these really cool studios that you just like walk in, kind of like this, right? Where you walk in and one room is like a different set. So one room was like a bar, one was a casino, one was an arcade, and one was like a mini mart. It was just one room, one building. It was so cool to see that. And it was just a really cool opportunity to go out there and just be around a lot of big names, Robert Mukes, John Fiore, and these people are legends in their filming, and it was really cool to be able to learn and get better at that. And then the next day, I had a wrestling event. NAW Wrestling. Yep. That was in LA. Shane Hartline runs that. Amazing wrestler, actor, and comedian. He has his own show now. It's the funniest, best show. I had so much fun doing that. I was on a panel. So pretty much it's a wrestling show and a comedy show together, right? I was on a panel with Jonathan Coachman and Josh Barnett. It was, and then I ended up wrestling Jonathan Coachman at the end. Yeah. It was so cool. And then filmed more the next day, and then flew back home to film Crimson Harvest on Tuesday. And and then Saturday I had a film. Saturday we did the HorrorCon. Sunday I wrestled in California, and now Monday I had off just to relax, and then now I'm back here today, back on the road.
I'm gonna call you Hollywood at this point.
It's been nonstop, but hey, this is what as people who want to make it, this is what entails.
The hard work and dedication, yep. and it shows there as well. Now, as well, men's speaking.
Yes.
Let's talk about that as well. And it has a lot to do with men's mental health as well, right?
So I started, I got put in the position, I had the opportunity to be a part of the men's speaking movie, and they gave me the opportunity to really open up and show an audience who's behind Vinny Pacifico, who is Vinny, like what is Vinny Pacifico at its core. And just like everybody else, I deal with mental health. Everyone does.
Everyone does. Yeah, no one's perfect. No one's perfect.
No one's perfect. And it's like I get anxiety. There's times when I'm upset. There's times when I'm overwhelmed with things. And it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to show others that you have feelings as well. And that's kind of what we showcase, where as men, we're supposed to be strong and whatever, and we do our best to be strong. But there are times when we break down and things get hard for us. So I try to make everyone who's a fan of me or a fan of wrestling or acting, whatever they enjoy, know that we are just like them, and we go through the same thing they go through. Because no one's perfect. No matter how much success you have, you are still going through stress, anxiety, anything, right? So nothing's perfect. No one's perfect, but Men Speaking gave me the chance to really show the world that I also go through a lot of stuff mentally, right? And also growing up, like I've had a lot of times when shit happens, right? And you bottle it in and you let it out. So it's like I just want the audience for Men Speaking and every audience to know that, or every person watching to know that it's okay to go through shit. You know?
Exactly. That was good. That was
sorry, it was a ramble, but
no, that was good. I was all in.
Thank you.
I love it. Now onto the wrestling stuff as well. What got you into wrestling?
SmackDown versus Raw 2007. That got me into wrestling. I was at my cousin's house. They were playing the video game, and it's a video game, so you don't really think it's real or whatever. So they're playing the game, and I'm watching the Boogeyman versus Rey Mysterio. And as you know, both these wrestlers look aesthetically incredible.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
So it captivated me. I'm like, what is this? Later that night, it was SmackDown. They were on TV. So I couldn't believe this was a real thing.
Yeah.
Like these characters are just eating worms and jumping through ropes. So I fell in love with wrestling, and then as I got older, I started loving the Jeff Hardys, John Cena's, and then who really made me want to be a wrestler was Bryan Danielson.
Wow.
He is the one who inspired me to wrestle, to chase this, to a lot of my mindset too is how he really is.
Such
right?
a technician.
Incredible. He's the best wrestler in the world, in my opinion.
We had Eva Uni here last week. He works on, but he legit said like he's by far like the best wrestler, hands down.
Yes, I would totally agree, and I think as a person too, he's a very down to earth person and somebody people could learn from beyond wrestling. In my opinion.
How would you describe your wrestling style? Somebody that hasn't watched you.
So technically, great question, because I love technical wrestling. I love the British style of wrestling. I went to the UK. I trained. I did everything. I love the British style of wrestling and technical wrestling. I was trained by Ring of Honor. And Ring of Honor teaches you everything. Like when it comes to they teach you the Japanese style, British, lucha, teach you everything. So I was well rounded in all different styles of wrestling as I was trained. But I would say one of my strong suits is technical, but also lately brawling a lot. I've been getting really into a lot of brawling matches, going in the crowd, doing a lot of fun stuff. Comedy is something that I occasionally would wrestle, do it. At first I started at 16, my first match. So all my matches were always serious. I'd have a character at first, right? So the first few years I just did regular matches, whatever, doing my usual thing. But as you get a character, as you grow, as you become more of a brand or, like I said, character or gimmick, you're able to do different things. Once I found my gimmick, then I was able to do what I wanted for these different type of matches. So comedy, occasionally I would do comedy matches. And yeah, I would say those are my styles. I technical strong suit, love brawling, not so much hardcore, right? I know people have hardcore matches, but I've dabbled, I'll do them, but my strong suit is technical and brawling. Do you like,
did you ever bleed? Do you like cutting and stuff and bleed? Or?
I never cut, but I bled quite a few times.
Yeah.
I bled the hard way. And yeah, my first match ever, actually, I got F5'd to the mat, and I turned a certain way, and my that guy didn't break, but I started bleeding from here down to like my cheek. My first match ever. And then I had a match 2 years later in Rhode Island, and I got kicked in the face. It was bleeding everywhere, in my nose, and thank God it never broke. But bleeding everywhere, and the sounded like a bat hitting a baseball. That's how it sounded. But I was able to continue the match, and I was able to do everything that I had for that match. And the night I had promos after. So it's a hard business. It's hard. Wrestling's not easy.
And when they say wrestling's fake, how about you go step in my shoes, pretty much?
Exactly. Step in my shoes. And not only that, yes, to a T.
Yeah.
But also it's the travel's a lot. You know, I've had the last couple of weeks West Coast, East Coast multiple times, and that is rough on your body as well.
Yeah.
And these WWE and AEW, they're nonstop traveling in planes across countries and other countries as well. So, no one realizes how much of a problem it can be to travel over like 6-hour flights. You're sitting like this, and if you fall asleep, you're like this. That's not healthy for you.
No,
not at all.
No.
So, over time, that will catch up with you.
Yeah, exactly. Are you a big travel guy? Do you like?
I love it. I'm in a plane probably every single like once, twice a week, every single week, maybe 3 times a week, and it's for the first few years of me getting really busy like that. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I would just fly in to West Coast, wrestle, fly to the Midwest, wrestle, and fly home, or I would go back. And a lot of red-eye flights. So overnight you're sleeping. One thing that I had to learn was to get a pillow. I never really cared about it. I didn't care. I just did things. I would go and just wrestle and just do my thing, and I didn't care about sleeping on the plane. I didn't care about stretching in between the flights, and it's so important to do that as a wrestler. Now I'm learning more than ever how important that really is, taking care of your body. I go to physical therapy. I stretch every single day of my life. I eat very regimented diet. You have to take care of yourself. And the first few years of my really heavy, when I was getting really busy, I didn't give a shit. So I just did and did and did.
You're on the go.
Yep, and I still am, but now I do it with care, and I use things I've learned like yoga or stretching or just things you eat, nourish your body, so that you can at least do these things at the same level longer.
Exactly. Now you're returning to Europe October 11th in Germany.
Yes, GWP.
But you have a lot of European, as we break down here as well. We're going to talk about 2018. It was at Warrior of Wrestling. Now you became champion.
Yes.
Now you had a huge feud with Isaiah Wolf. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that.
That was a crazy feud. Oh my gosh. It was one of those feuds where it just never ended, right? And then like they had more storylines, they had deeper storylines going on and on. I'm like, oh my gosh, how much deeper can this get? It was great. That's in Northeast. But as you mentioned, Europe, that same year, I beat Isaiah Wolf for the belt. I brought the belt to England to make it a world championship. And that was really a great experience, getting to go to England and wrestle up and down all of the UK, Wales, and that was just crazy. 13-day tour by my, and nonstop every day. Yeah, you had a show. You had one show in Europe. The next day, you finish. You get in the van. They go to the next town.
So you're driving to the next town
every night, and you get in a hotel, maybe 3 or 4 hours. That's about it. You're back you go rest. You back on the road to wrestle. You do your thing. You get back in the van. You gotta go to the next town. 11 of 13 days of wrestling shows, and we had one day to rest or tour London, and then the next day was the travel day. So it was just a nonstop, but I loved it and I learned and I got better. That tour taught me so much. And fast forward a little longer, I traveled abroad to Canada many times. I love it. The wrestling scene out here is so good. It's so underrated in my opinion. One of the best. But I did Canada a bunch throughout the years, but as you mentioned, Europe. Last year I toured Finland, England, France.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a crazy tour. So I started out in Finland. I wrestled for Slam Wrestling, a great company, one of the best I would say in Europe. They're so professional. They work very hard and they put on a great show. And I also wrestled at the Metal Fest, because Helsinki, Finland is huge with metal and So it was like a giant stadium, rock metal concerts playing, and then they would switch to the wrestling show, so all the fans would turn around and go to the middle of the concert where the wrestling show was, and then back to the stage. It was so sick. It was so cool. And then I went from there to England. That was really, really fun. I was in like 3 different parts of England within like a week. And then from England to France. And that was so much fun. As a person who loves to travel and loves seeing the world, I would say France is one of the most beautiful places in the entire world that I've ever seen. Genuinely. The food.
Not a fan? No,
the best.
You think it's good? Yeah.
French food's the best.
Yeah.
I ate so much food and I lost weight.
How much baguettes did you eat?
Oh, plenty. I had plenty of baguettes. I had baguettes, escargot, I had pastries, and oh my God. insane. And they had this big giant pizza with like angel hair pasta on it and an egg in the middle. It was so good. But I lost weight while eating that type of food. It was crazy.
Because it's probably maybe just all the preservatives and all the stuff that we have here and stuff. It's just probably maybe like, just North America in general. I'm not saying it's just in America, Canada as well. I just think European style food is just like, even when I go to Greece and stuff, it's like you can just tell like the quality, like the oils they use is not. It's like it's a truth. You have another Greek there, like
but it's
like
better. It's more quality, more nutritious, and healthier. So I love that. And then later in the I had that was August, September, October, and then November I had a tour in where did I start? Netherlands, Amsterdam, Germany, Romania, and then Hungary. Yeah, I had all and wrestling scene in Germany is one of the best in the world. And then outside of the wrestling scene of that, the food was great. Touring it was great. Again, the Christmas fairs are awesome in Germany. Like they do this Christmas holiday stuff. It was beautiful. And then so I did Amsterdam first. That was cool. Great wrestling. It was just TV style wrestling, really fun stuff. Great crowd. They were all amped into it. It was really fun. And the food in Amsterdam's great too. And the windmills and just that was a great experience. But then going to Germany, like I said, one of the best I've ever experienced. Great wrestling, packed crowds. The fans in Germany are just, they love
top tier. Yeah,
they love it. And that's so important because I think when you wrestle in front of fans who love what you do, it's just the best thing in the world.
It brings you to like another level.
Yeah,
you love it.
And they want to see. They're there to like have fun with you and not like. Some crowds, could be annoying where they want to see you kill yourself and then they'll cheer, right?
Exactly.
But a lot of the crowds in Europe really appreciate what we do and appreciate everything that we're doing. So yeah, I love wrestling in Europe, America too. But of course, sometimes in America, like I said, those crowds are rough in America. Yeah. They're hard. Love them too. I love all fans, but some fans are hard to please. We gotta do what we gotta do to please them. And then Romania was awesome. I wrestled. Where was it? Transylvanian year, I think it was. That was a RPW, great company, great show they did. They had actually it was a showcase from around the world. So they had wrestlers from all over different countries in that one show. Like they had England, they had Scotland, they had Wales, they had someone from Canada, they had me from America, and there's a bunch of different. It was a great show, a phenomenal event, and they do good stuff. And then Hungary, actually, I did not get the chance to wrestle in Hungary. I was booked for HCW, one of the big companies in Hungary, and while I was in Germany, I fell down the stairs in the hotel.
No.
Yeah. So I wrestled in Romania. I was able to wrap it up and pull through, but by the time Hungary came the next week, I couldn't wrestle.
What'd you hurt?
My ankle. Ooh. So I fell down the stairs, like a whole flight of stairs, and. My wife was laughing because it was funny, but
at the moment, yeah.
Yeah. And then it hurt so bad I got nauseous and started sweating. And I was like, this destroyed me, killed me. But I got up, started walking. Okay, maybe I could push through and stuff. Walking around Germany and doing the whole city stuff. It was bad, but I said, all right, Romania, I'll wrestle, I'll push through, and yeah. But then after that, I was like, yeah, this sucks, and yeah. So I didn't wrestle in Hungary. They were very understanding. Still enjoyed Hungary. Still did the whole city, did the whole spa stuff. They have a beautiful spa. That's their big thing in Hungary. They have like these incredible, massive like spas of like different pools of heat of water and stuff. It was crazy. So I did some. This is after the show though, so I was knew prior. They have like a cold plunge, which is healthy for your injuries and stuff. But it was after the show happened. But it was still, like I said, great experience. I love wrestling in Europe. The wrestling European scene is by far, I would say, top tier.
Yeah, for sure. I've heard wrestlers as well on here told me like when they go to England or Ireland, the fans are just hooligans. They go nuts.
They go crazy. They go insane, and they. Yeah, I remember I wrestled in when I was in England. They would bring in like fan signs, like tons of them. Like 3 people would bring and they had pictures of me from like years prior. I'm like, how do you find this picture?
Troll.
Yeah, but it was great. So it was just something that I'm a big fan of wrestling wherever I go. I love traveling the United States. I love the West Coast scene. I love the Northwest, like Washington, Oregon. Love those places. Those places have incredible fans. Texas. But I will say, England fans, but there's so much more wrestling like in England, because in England there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like there's every day of the week. So these fans just see it every day if they go to the shows every day. But now in America we don't have that much as much, unless you're on like national TV, which like Monday Night Raw and Wednesday AEW and stuff like that. But on the independent scene, you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday mostly, or Thursdays. But yeah, it's just been an amazing journey getting to travel around the globe, literally at this point.
Especially Europe, you sound like you had a great time.
Oh my gosh, Europe is so much fun. And I brought my wife with me, so it's even better.
If you could choose, like, say, one place now in Europe that is like your favorite, but you have to pick. Nobody on the spot. You said all these places.
Yeah. If it's, because Germany was absolutely incredible.
France had the good food.
but I will say, Germany, the wrestling was incredible, and France, the wrestling was really, really good, really good. And then the countries, like, so like I like to judge it like, okay, the wrestling's great, and then seeing the country. I think I would say France, because then you have Disneyland Paris, you got the Louvre, you got the Palace of Versailles. There's just so much history and so much beauty that's in that country. So I would say France.
And you can share with your wife, and it's spent. Yeah,
oh my God,
it's perfect.
It made it so much fun. It was.
It's a win-win.
I would say, so there's something called post-Disney depression or post-travel depression when you leave the travel. On the last day we were in France, we did Disneyland Paris. So we had the post-Disney depression and the leaving the country depression. So it was like we were so upset to leave. But it was an amazing time. And I would say that, yeah, France, if you have the chance to go there to wrestle, go there to wrestle. If you're just a fan, you're traveling, and go to France. It's just so beautiful. Beautiful country, beautiful. Just the history is just the way the art that they do, the cathedrals. It's just like a credible, an incredible
person.
Yeah,
like the Instagrams and the socials don't do justice.
No, not at all.
Unless you see it in person.
Not at all.
100%.
Yeah.
Now you face as well now Carmelo Hayes, which used to be Christian Casanova.
Yes.
Like that was one match as well that popped up as one of yours. Now how's that in the ring with him, and seeing how he's a star that he is today?
Oh, he's phenomenal. Now he's even more phenomenal than he was, but when I wrestled him, he was still great, and it was such a fun match. Great person. I've known him for many years. He's the most humble people that you would meet, and always a bright person to be around. And that's something that I always strive to be like, and be around people like that. People that when you meet them, you feel good.
Yeah.
That's so important to me. And he's one of those people.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say that.
And now you also faced Joey Gacy at NXT 2.0.
Yes.
And that was at the PC.
Yes.
Let's talk about that match there.
Oh my gosh, that was a fun one. That was a great experience. That was my first time wrestling for WWE, and I loved it. He's an incredible guy. He's incredible talent. I've known him for years prior, before he got signed to WWE. And when I found that wrestling game, I was like, oh, we connected again. It was really, really cool. Great experience, great time. And yeah, it was just, I love getting to, I learned so much that day too from everybody performing. So I love where I get to perform, like, and be on the show, but also these people are the best in the world. Learn from them as well prior to that. And like during the day they were training and stuff, and they're doing like stuff in the ring, and I got to learn just an incredible amount. It was a great opportunity.
Exactly. And also as well, Alpha One. Let's talk about that.
Oh, that was pretty recent. I love that. Great company. I would tell you that Alpha One, one of the prime companies in Canada, would you say?
Ethan Page, well, used to run it, but
Ethan Page is the man.
He still shows up, yeah.
Yeah.
You love Ethan Page. I love his gimmick. I love it.
Ethan's the man. Ethan is he's a phenomenal wrestler and great character, but as a person, he makes sure everyone's like I remember a few years ago I was in a car with him, and he was just giving me advice and just guidance, and just showing me, like, I showed him a match of mine, he was so willing to watch it. So he's somebody who was willing to go out of his way and just teach and guide and help, and he's a gem. He's a gem,
ego.
sure.
Have you seen what he's doing with the belt now?
Yeah. He's incredible. He could do anything.
Yeah.
He could do anything and make it really, really good.
Especially now he's with Chelsea Green as well. Found like what she went through, and all that, like, just up and downs, and what she's right now. I think one of the top divas there is in WWE, like, just
Big
period.
time.
And she's just so good. I love seeing people that just, like, like they don't really get the easy handout, but, like, they get knocked down, but then they come back up, and then she's just,
and then finally she's one of the big stars of wrestling.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see that. Seeing someone's rise is a beautiful thing. especially if they're a good person and you want to see them win. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats seeing someone work hard and just go through ups and downs and just finally getting that opportunity. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm very happy for
exactly. Like always on my show, I always like to part of the show, like give my flowers. I want to thank you for obviously no one really sees the hard work and the dedication you put behind your craft. I'm pretty sure you miss birthdays, miss parties, miss a whole lot of stuff. Probably got your wife angry as well.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure as well. I just want to say thank you because what you do is not easy. You put your your life on the line.
Thank you.
And people don't really appreciate as much. They're just quick to judge what they see based on the socials or based on the results, but they don't know the hard work, dedication you. But look, you legit took a flight, New York, early in the morning to come here. Then after this, you're going there. Then you're doing movies. You're all over the place.
Thank you for that very much.
Welcome.
I appreciate that. It's not easy. I started at 14 wrestling, and I missed out on so many funerals, birthday parties, weddings, you name it, right? And when I was 20, I met my now wife, and she taught me to really live in the moment and take a step back and just enjoy where you are. Now time with family is important, right? So I will make the effort to wrestle my event in, let's say, across the country and get home that same night or next morning early so I can make it the next day. For that event, right? Or that family meeting or family party, whatever it may be. Because I just, so many people have came and gone in my family that I lost, and I haven't been there enough, and it's a sad thing. It genuinely, but it's what we sacrifice, right? I would say the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've seen my wife only for bed, going to bed and then waking up, right? And that's it. I've just been constantly in the gym, podcasts, traveling, filming, and we're going together, but next week we're going to Germany, and then the next week wrestling in Germany again, and we're going to Dubai to wrestle. Wow. I'm very excited to wrestle in Dubai, but that's a chance where we could be together the whole time. I'm gonna be busy doing my thing, but we'll be together, but we'll be together, and we'll be able to have a good time and be able to just travel again, and we love traveling together. That's one of our favorite things to do. But again, like I said, it's raunchy when you're not ever at home and you're just nonstop traveling, and you only see her for dinner and then bed, and then next morning, it
takes a toll.
It does,
especially not just in the body, just like your mind too. Because obviously, you're not just thinking about yourself; you think about your loved one. Yeah. And she obviously must be a very strong woman, stuff, because obviously, she has to obviously know your lifestyle and adjust to your lifestyle, which she has as well.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Yeah.
Since day one.
Hard to find.
Yeah, hard to find. When I met her, I was in Ring of Honor, and she knew from the get, that's how important that is to me, and how important wrestling is to me, and that I'm not going to sacrifice wrestling no matter what. But I've learned to really just make sure I fit everything in my time. I have no time for myself ever at this point. So I make sure that all my time is spent the best of my ability, whether it's with family, with her, or doing what I'm doing, my jobs. So I just make sure there's no downtime. And that's hard too. But at this point, there's no downtime. It's just constantly either with family, making sure I get those hours in with them, and then just traveling and wrestling and just flying whatever I'm doing. And I'm grateful, right? I prayed to God for these opportunities. I prayed to be able to be in this spot. I prayed to just elevate my life, and now here I am. But it comes with sacrifice, and it's hard. But nothing worth it comes easy.
Exactly. Now, you said you started wrestling at 14. I got to ask you this question. What would you tell your 14-year-old self right now if you could tell him something?
Don't stop. It's going to get fun. It's going to be hard, but don't stop. Because there were times when I would just cry in my car. There's been moments where I was just not knowing what's next, and opportunities that slipped out of my hands. I've had many times when I was this close to being where I really wanted it again, and then COVID happened, and a lot of things happen, and it just it's a hard journey. But you got to realize it's a marathon, not a race, and that's something that I need to even learn that now, because I'm, it gets, after a while you're just so nonstop and you're so in what you're doing. You don't. Oh, also 14-year-old self, to enjoy the process, because for a while it's just nonstop grinding and just not looking at what you're doing though. I don't get the chance to sit back and be oh wow, I did this, you know what I'm saying? I example, I filmed a movie in LA. I had an event that night. Next day I filmed a movie again. I flew back home for one day, and then I did another movie. And it's I want to be able to enjoy that and just have fun while I'm doing it. And I do enjoy it and I have fun with it. But it's just nonstop, so it's harder to really just enjoy the journey. But that's why I guess just slow down. That's kind of what you need to slow down and just live life, because you only live once, and life is fleeting. Life, you know what I mean? And and it's sad, and you want to we just as people, we always on our phones, we are always doing something, right? And not in the moment. And I have to, one of my biggest things is learning to love and live in the moment of what I'm doing. Because if you live in your phone, the world around you is just going, and it's
the generation we're living at now. Like, everybody's constantly on their phone. It's just, I mean, it's sad to say, but I'm the victim of it. I'm always on my phone. Like we're always, it's just one of those things, like, you cannot, I'm pretty sure if I take our phones away for like 5 hours, what would we do? Like, realistically, like, we'll be like, it's
hard.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's just the world we're living at now. So one of those things, like, especially the new generation nowadays too. Like, I see even like down my street, I see kids like nowadays. There's like very rare you'll see them at the basketball court. Back then, I'd be at the park. I'd be in my laneway playing soccer. Like, you want to go with your friends. Now, it's my nephews and the kids I know. They're either at home, Fortnite. Like, they're playing
games.
Yeah, or maybe worse things. Like, now, this generation is, I don't want to hardly swear, but fucked.
Yeah.
It's like this generation.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's scary.
It is very scary, to your point. And yeah, like, I'm a victim as well, being on my phone constantly. And again, part of our jobs is being on our phone.
Yeah.
But I've had to learn to just be like, all right, I need to either put it down for a time with my wife and just watch a movie, or just put it down, or give a day of the week where I just have the phone down or on silent and just be in the moment. And I'm glad you mentioned this on the podcast, because it's just a big thing that I've gone through this year, where I haven't been present with my wife. I've been plugging away doing, and again, part of it is I'm working so hard to give us that life that we want to live, right? So it's like it's weird, because it's like, it's for us. It's not. I'm not ignoring. I'm just doing what I have to do to be able to. Yes, for us. But also on the phone so much, and just being not present when I'm home because I'm working so hard, it's making her upset because I'm not present. Imagine being next to somebody and they're just like on the phone. It's not fun.
Of course, yeah.
So like, I had to learn the balance of like, yes, this is for us, but let me still enjoy the moments now that we're together, and just be able to enjoy our lives. And like, there's ways to do both, and I'm learning how to do both. And be able to prioritize the time with her and prioritize my work, and it's not easy.
Not easy.
It's so hard.
But this our modern day, like, back then as well, like, you have like, say back then you have like, say you'll figure out like wrestling events are coming like on the TV, or like during the commercial breaks, or newspapers, or perhaps like whatever. Now there's our phone. How do you promote yourself, matches, whatever you're going next city? The phone. That's like our modern day like newspaper, or a radio, like, it's the radio realistically.
Easily,
yeah, it's like our modern
podcasts
day.
are on YouTube, spot everywhere.
And how do you watch it? Through your phone.
Through your phone.
So it just comes like full circle. Like, everything has to go through your handheld.
It's hard, and it just I have to take a step back sometimes, and just realize where I am and just be the moment, right? And that also helps everything, because now when you're able to be present and be in that moment, you could do anything. You're able to like breathe for a minute and be like, all right, let me make dinner, let me do the dishes, let me take the garbage out. Just, you're able to think more rationally than just like, oh, I got to get this thing done. But I've gotten a lot better at it lately, but I wanted to highlight that on the podcast, that it's not an easy thing when you're in a relationship and you're also chasing a very tough dream, and it's not an easy thing.
See, I love this as well as this. This is a quite unique, different podcast as well, because when I usually talk about wrestling, the guys who are wrestlers usually talk about wrestling, but this one is quite, I love this. I gotta say thank you, because this is quite, because you're a great, like, you like to speak as well, and it's one of those things that this is like life. We're talking about life.
Yeah.
Which is quite, this is great. I'm enjoying this, and sit back and enjoy this, because like, you're a great speaker. I gotta say, you can start your own podcast perhaps.
Maybe. I mean, I thought about it, and I'm like, there's so many out there that are just like great podcasts. How can I compete?
Yeah.
But maybe I think I might be able to.
But you're like open about like, about your stuff. You're open. Some guys, right, like realistically, I'll ask questions. Wrestling, it's just wrestling. Okay, yeah, based on that match. But no, it's like one of those things. Like, we have like the sense like we're just both real people.
Yeah.
Talking. It's like it just comes out, like you just open up. Like you're saying before, you feel comfortable.
Yes.
Exactly.
We're all real people.
Yeah.
I wrestle, right? Like, there's so much more than just what I do. There's everyday life I go to the gym every day. I have to make sure my meal is a certain way. Like beyond the ring, there's just so much we do to make sure that in the ring is the best we can do, best we can.
Yeah.
And also like your mental health goes into being in the ring. Like you got to make sure you're on point. You're half the time we're not, but like try our best to be mentally ready for everything that happens. And it's not an easy thing.
No.
But I'm lucky that I'm wrestling 12 years, 10 years, and 10 to 12 years. Long time. And I'm able to perform the best of my ability, wrestle great talent, and I'm able to I'm blessed to be able to just do what I do, because a lot of people don't get the opportunities to, and you got to realize how lucky you are.
And it seems like you love what you do and you're happy with what you do. And at the end of the day, if you love what you do and you're happy with it, you're winning.
You are working. If you love what you do, you aren't working.
Exactly.
If you love how you make your money, you are not actually working. You're just doing what you love most. And I love wrestling, and I love doing podcasts, and I love getting in movies. And now things are happening more and more in everything that I love. So that's a huge blessing, and it's just I'm very grateful to be able to be trusted in these different things, right? And I just got, like I said, I was just putting this horror movie on Tuesday, and the horror industry, like the fans and just the people,
hardcore.
Yeah, hard. You have no idea. I'm sure you have an idea, but it's insane. Like I've gained so many followers from the horror industry on Instagram within like a few days, and I'm already getting calls for more work, more movies, like already, and I'm beyond humble about that.
Because good things happen to good people, and you're a good person.
Thank you.
So that's why, exactly.
Yeah.
And now one thing I'm going to roll back to wrestling now is this.
Shoot.
I got to go with this. This was a main thing as well that kept popping up. Sports Illustrated even had it featured as well. You know which I'm going to talk about now. Is AW.
Oh gosh.
AW when you got your tooth knocked out. Like let's talk about that there.
Great. So that was in Vegas. No, where was that? That was in Fresno, California. Yeah. Great day. I flew in. I'm getting ready to wrestle. I have, you're wrestling tonight. Awesome. Wrestling the Ops. I'm like, heck yeah, let's do this. So good. AEW, one of the best locker rooms out there. I'll hands down. Great people, great talent. Everyone wants to make wrestling better, and that's what I love most. I love being in locker rooms like that. Like when I was in Ring of Honor, that's how it was. And I think a lot of ROH talent is now in AEW.
Yep.
So it's like it's very similar.
Mix, yeah,
it's great. So I have the match. I think it was drop kicked in the face, but I got half my tooth cut out, knocked out. But it was like my back tooth. So I have no idea how a kick to my face, the last tooth got cut, like broken in half.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how that even happens, but it was really, really, really fun, really cool opportunity, and I love wrestling on television. I didn't feel it. Well, I heard a crack and I knew something cracked, and I felt it in my hand. I'm like, oh, okay, but
it goes on.
Yeah, exactly. But then I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, how did my back tooth get knocked out? If you kicked me in the forward,
you probably imagine something here. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was really, really, really cool.
Hey, Sports Illustrated, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Sports Illustrated. No, it was a really cool opportunity, and just we deal with a lot of things, injuries, and some that we don't even know happen. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure people on TV, like WWE, we have no idea some things happen, but they do.
WrestleMania, Tiffany Stratton broke her teeth in front. You could actually tell, and she was like, it's funny because it's they do a little behind the scenes, like a little thing now on Netflix, and you could tell Triple H is like, is that your real tooth? She's like, no, it's fake. Everybody has fake teeth here, so it's fine. Like legit, like she actually broke one of her. But I mean, what do you call them? Like veneers?
Like was it? Did they put it up?
I think Charlotte did something. I guess I don't know what it was during the match itself. Just cracked her tooth right in half. But it's WWE money, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
They'll take care of it. By WrestleMania moment, the girl's like bloody here, the tooth is out. I mean, it's cool for TV.
Yeah, exactly.
You seen what happened to Jade Cargill?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, her eyebrow was dashed like huge. But she looked right in the camera. You have to look at the camera. You're busted, leaking open. You go look at the camera because that's going to make you like the man, Becky Lynch. That actually made the man. If you think about it, that segment made her the man.
The blood.
Yeah.
Something about that. It's ways to utilize those moments. Yeah, there's ways to utilize that stuff and make it moment, to make it matter, and make it become so much bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the beauty of it.
Now, throughout your whole wrestling career, over 10, 12 plus years that you've been in the game, what is your one match that you just love or that really made...
I've had or just...
That you've had that really made Vinny Pacifico? Like a match that made Vinny Pacifico. Like, you're like, I made it.
That got me where I am.
Yeah, got you where you're at, exactly.
Ooh. That's a great question, because there's a few matches that I had that really knocked me up a few pegs really fast. I would say me and Rocky Romero. Yeah. That one was like, really one of my favorite ones I've ever had. And I love Rocky. He's a great person, great guy. I love him to death. Me versus EC3. That was before Rocky Romero, and I think that match with EC3 really showed people how good I can be, and how like some matches we went like 25 minutes, and just we did so much, and the people like realized like, wow, Vin could go, and that was like that put me on the map to be like, okay, wow, Vinny's a like, you know, like we didn't know you were that good.
Yeah.
And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying like that's what I was told a lot. But people like watched that match and they were like really impressed with everything, and so was he. And he wanted to help me out in my career and stuff. And then so I would say like when people have moments in their career where they could show how good they really are, like Brian Bryan, who's in WWE, he was always a great wrestler, right? But he had some he had a moment that people were like, no, he's the effing man.
Was it perhaps even the WrestleMania when he was injured and he had to fight twice that night? Remember, he fought twice that night, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But people knew like what he was before that.
Yeah, before
but I'm saying, yeah, but
before
that
the
was,
Yes movement, probably around that.
Yes, but people like they wanted to see how good he could be.
Yeah.
Everyone knew, or people who knew, but then the world knew, right? So there's just moments that you have that like you really showcase what you do, and I think that after the EC3 was a really big showcase, and then obviously the Rocky Romero, that one was one of my favorites, and I would say probably Rocky Romero is the best one because that one set me up for I got to really tour in Japan and then work for New Japan and just I worked for New Japan in the States and I worked in Japan somewhere else, which is funny, but I would say Rocky is one of the hands down one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Exactly. Now, being you said New Japan Wrestling as well.
That was fun.
How was that experience?
Amazing experience. That so professional and so precise. Everything they do, whether it's match, like everything that they do behind the scenes is very precise, and it's just so professional, and everything has to be to a T how it needs to be. And it was a crazy opportunity, and by far one of my favorites.
Now, the Ring of Honor, you're a part of the Future of Honor.
Yes.
Is that like, I guess, the young talent, the uprising?
Yes. It was like they had like a division for like the younger talent, or like, and that was what a time in my life. But me and Cheeseburger and Red Titus talk about it a lot, reminisce in those times because they were really beautiful times. But we just travel together, go to these towns, and just wrestle in these beautiful venues and just on TV, and it was such a great time in my life. And I miss it so much because the moments with these people just traveling, either whether it's by plane or whether it's just like in a van of just a bunch of us listening to music, and you can't beat that.
Yeah.
And Ring of Honor was just such a huge door for me to just grow and learn and become who I am as a person and a wrestler. So I give a lot of my love and thanks to Ring of Honor, what it's done for me and where it got me and what I've learned from them. And there's just the moments on the road. Like, it's just, we had so much fun on the road traveling. And now that, Ring of Honor is now bought by AEW, we don't have that anymore. That where we were, and like the two people, and it just, I miss it more than anything.
But you seem grateful. And
more than anything. It's grateful that it happened, but I miss those days because they were fun days. Like I just every week seeing Cheeseburger, one of my trainers, love him to death. Red Titus, there's those two of my groomsmen at my wedding. Yeah. Getting to just be around people who I love, Eli Isom, Ryan Mooney, Delirious, just people that are just amazing, and just be around them all the time. And that was just awesome.
Now, I gotta ask you this now. You've been wrestling for 10 plus years. What has wrestling taught you?
Well, easy answer is taught me how to travel, right? But it's taught me patience. It's taught me how to love the life you're living, even in the moments that don't seem all that great. It's taught me to, everything really. I would say I started at 14, so I learned a lot. Just love the moments you're in, live in the moment, and just be grateful for everything, because like I said before, like not every opportunity you're given is an opportunity to be better and to grow and to showcase your brand and your talents, and no opportunity is too small, I feel, and I think take every opportunity you have, and this is the quote. Ready? Give it your all, every opportunity given. That's kind of the thing. Like every single opportunity you're given to crush it and be your best, you do it. That is, if you give it your all, every single opportunity, you cannot go wrong.
Couldn't have said it better.
Whether it's podcasts, movies, wrestling, commercials, anything you're doing, anything that it is in life, a job. You know, I years ago I was doing construction. If you give it your all, that's all that matters. So if you give it your all, every opportunity given, you can't go wrong.
Exactly. Now, what is some message now to the youth that look up to you or just want to become a wrestler and be like, hey, Vinny, any advice? I want to become a wrestler.
Find a good school, good trainer. You know, that's always the most important thing. Good people to be finding a good, like I said, a good school, good trainer, but good people to be around. That's so important. People need to be aligned with what your goals are, what your vision is, and how you are as a person. That's so important. Loyalty, respect is such an important thing, and I think that really needs to be driven home, and people need to really be around that. Your atmosphere is so important. Where you're around is how you're going to be. That's one of the most important things, is just being around good people, and just, like I said, your atmosphere. Be around people who are better than you and who want the best for you and who are aligned with, like I said, your personality, your values, and that's very important. But I will also say, like, work very hard, work your best. Like, everything that you're doing, every opportunity you get, give it your all, every time. Because you never know who's watching, which I'll tell you a quick story. I was doing a movie, and this week, Crimson Harvest, and people were videoing from behind the scenes, and I appreciate them videoing and stuff like that, but they were also directors, and they want me in their movie, and I had no idea. So, like, you never know who's watching. Even in wrestling, I had promoters in the crowd or promoters watching from at home and reach out to you after, you know. So you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching, and just don't stop. Don't, like, there'll be moments where you want to give up, where you think, you know, I'm not getting any further than this, or those are thoughts in your head. Yeah. There is no limitations to what you've done. Like, I've gotten to do some of the craziest things I never even imagined, and more on the horizon by far. And if you think with limitations, that's where don't think with limitations. Just think, I can do anything. And if you just think with that mindset of, like, I'm lucky to be here, but I want more, and you're allowed to want more, but don't let where you are stop you from where you're going. So just, like, don't stop. Just head down, work hard, and you'll see over time the results. Well said. Absolute gems, guys. Absolute gems. Thank you. I guess now, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years for Vinny? Is it the movies? Pursuing more wrestling? I'm never going to stop wrestling. First love. You know, movies are happening more and more for me. I'm getting calls for more. I'm very blessed. I'm enjoying them. But so far, every movie I've done, I've gotten to commit to every wrestling date I have. Nothing is intertwined yet. So I want to keep it that way. I want to be able to do my movies, but also my bookings, right? But I do want, like I said, wrestling. I don't want everyone to stop wrestling. Movies, I want to continue doing those and keep growing in that forever. You know, brand deals, those are on the way. You know, I'm signed to an agency that works with a lot of big brands, and I'm working on that. More movies, like, I just think it's everything I'm doing now, more at a higher level. And yeah, I think that's kind of, and I want to also be able to inspire people to work hard and to chase a dream, because a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of the youth, or a lot of just younger, like my nephews, for example, huge example. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. Oh, I'm not going to be able to. And I'm just like, if I thought I wasn't, I never would thought I'd be where I am now wrestling, right? At 14 years old, I never even thought. But where you are, like, now does not mean you can't. People think with a roof over their head, and I think you can't think with a roof over your head. You have to think with, like, everything could happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure when you first started, you didn't think you could interview Kurt Angle. I never Kurt Angle or Bret Hart. So yeah, exactly. Not trying to plug myself in, but I never would have thought. My first episode was in my bedroom. Took off these posters off my wall, plain white wall, and did it. That's what I did. And if you didn't start, and you never know. And also, if you and I'm sure you never thought, oh, I'd be interviewed by Kurt Angle. Yeah, exactly. Right? Or even you today, or just in general. Yeah. You never, and it's like, the sky is the limit if you think with no limits, right? And that's how you gotta be.
As well. Like when I went to school for radio and broadcast as well and stuff, like I went to University of Toronto, I thought to myself, like, you know, I said perhaps Bret Hart, because I lined up for him when it was at Vaughan. It was like a pizza. I was with my mom. It was like, I think it was 9, 10. It was freezing, snowy days, but I still did. Then after I told Bret Hart this at the end of the show, like in the room, I actually broke down a little bit. I'm like just picture now, I'm with Bret Hart on stage. I like in front of like thousands of people and literally just spoke. Like he's over like say an hour and a half. Everybody's here for this like show. Like it's a spectacle basically. And it's like going back. Hold on, I lined up for you when I was 10 years old. Like he's my hero, my idol growing up, and now I'm next to you. Like I broke down. And then he gave me like a headlock. This video, he gave me a hug. He's like something like man up, buddy. Like you know,
that's great.
Like
that's
no,
awesome.
I'll never forget that. Like to me, that was like bucket list. I'm like, you know, God forbid if I say tomorrow, I'm done.
That's it.
I'm happy.
And how many people get to do that?
Yeah,
not many, right? Yeah. So that's something that like I also want to nail home. Like cherish the moments that you had. Like cherish those moments because they're beautiful and they will last forever. And they are moments that will get you further, right? Like again, like I'm sure interviewing Brett got you higher on the totem.
Now we're doing the screw job November night with Brett again.
Yeah,
it's a manifestation. I think, like you know, because we did it once. We're like, hold on, can we now go to another? Sure, obviously sometimes you're like, maybe not. But if you just believe in yourself. It's just a manifestation, like yourself as well. I'm sure you manifest so many things that are happening, and like it's happened. Like, did you before when you're doing acting stuff? Did you know like you wanted to become into movies and stuff, or you had in your mind?
I always thought like, so I always was like I had a mindset of like I just want to wrestle. That's it.
Yeah.
Like and again, that's really it. But now that I'm doing movies, I'm like, oh wow, I can do this. I love this. It was so much fun. So like, I didn't think at first about movies, but as I got a little older. Like my early 20s, like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll get into a movie or so, whatever. It'll come eventually. Yeah. And now it's like, here I am. It's coming fast, and they are coming. And I never thought. No, to answer your question, I never thought. But I did think like eventually I would like do them, right? But not this soon.
But it's good to hear as well. Now, we were saying before, you're very heavily on family, your wife.
Yeah.
Like, and as well, I got to say now, how important is family to you as well? How important is legacy to you? Because you're building if you think about it, everybody builds a legacy, whatever they're doing in life. You could be like whatever worker you are, you're building a legacy basically. But as in towards yourself, how important is like family and legacy to you?
One of the most important things, like your legacy and what you give off and how you impact people's lives is so important because people, you know, I've had people who impact like Brian Danielson. Like his legacy is unmatched, right? Like he impacted my life. He has no idea. Yeah. He did, yeah. Right? So I mean, I would love to be. That's important to me because I want to be able to impact people's lives, even if I don't know who they are. But if they could get impacted by me in a positive way, then I'm doing my job. I think leaving a legacy is one of the most important things you could do, and it's a very big thing for me. And family, like I said, I love my family. I spent so long not being around my family, and it's hard because like I said, it's from like 14 to like 20 I was never around. I started coming around and they were like, oh wow, and it was like I had to relearn my family, who they are, people, right? Like my cousins, third cousins, like I mean I've seen my core family, right? But like family parties and stuff, some people that I haven't seen and like or talked to, like you don't remember all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I think family's so important. I think your home is one of the most important things. So I think if you take care of home, everything will fall into place.
Perfectly said. Now, wind up. Now, I gotta also thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thank you for having me.
Of course. Now we're gonna come down to these parts now, as I call like it's not like I call the fan question because these are questions like the fans would love to hear.
Okay.
Now, if there's a dream match for Vinny, anybody from the past and the present, who would it be?
Brian Danielson.
Yes, for sure.
I'll throw an extra in there. Another one. Matt Cardona.
Cardona. Wow. Yeah. It could happen. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure. Especially like just like your character. It could happen.
I love Matt Cardona. He's a great dude, great talent, and probably one of the best like on social media. Now that's important.
Now Mount Rushmore. Give me the Mount Rushmore. Your Mount Rushmore of all-time greats. Now, no one judges, guys, because it's one of those, everybody's quick, like, oh, you forgot this, forgot that. Yeah. Like, Vinny's, your Mount Rushmore. It has to be, like, say your favorite. So, obviously, Daniel Bryan could be in there if you want.
Of course.
For sure.
But now is it wrestling ability, or is it, like, what they've done?
It could be anything. It's your Mount Rushmore.
Brian Danielson, Shawn Michaels, John Cena.
Yes.
Have to have John Cena on there. But it's only 4. It's like,
you got it in 5th. Well, Bret Hart added 5th, so why not you add 5th?
Bret Hart, right?
Okay.
Kidding me? And
These are always good.
Yeah, so it's Brian. Who did I say? Brian,
Brett, Cena.
Brett, Cena.
And then I think, yeah, those three so far.
I have one more. Sean. I said Sean, right? No,
You said Shawn Michaels?
Sean. Yeah, I said Sean.
This interview's over. No, kidding.
Wait, I said Shawn. Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Bret Hart,
Yeah.
which whatever that rivalry, but they're still on my list. Bryan Danielson, John Cena, and you know what? Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, okay.
Yeah.
That was I was gonna
yeah.
say.
Wrestling ability, you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
You're-
It's top tier.
No, it's. I mean, The Rock has done incredible things, and he's impacted millions, and he's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in terms of wrestling ability,
Kurt Angle,
yeah,
Danielson,
Kurt's
that list was heavy. That's a heavy list for sure. Now,
And mine's in ring heavy, right? If you're talking about like what they've done, and you got John Cena, they got Rock, you got Steve Austin, that sort of thing. But
and when it goes down to say GOATs and Mount Rushmore, to me, I think it's really a generational thing. Because I mean, even I talk all the time with my boys and stuff. Even with like basketball, they say Jordan, LeBron. Okay, or even they go back to Kareem. I wasn't born when Kareem played. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I see the stats or see the YouTube stuff, but for me, I say LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
As it would have young kids now be like, "Oh, you're glazing." No, like LeBron. I watched LeBron as a rookie come up.
And
Like
yeah.
like Jordan. I watched maybe okay,
Toward the
like,
end.
Yeah. Like I think it's a generational thing. But you say the Cena, yes, for sure, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
It's like different generational thing. This conversation can go on like another 5 hours if you think about it.
Because Cena, he's amazing, right? Like the emotion he gets from the crowd is just.
They hate him now. They love him now. Yeah, like it's just too good.
Yep.
I gotta ask you this now.
Shoot.
When it's all said and done, what do you want the fans to remember Vinny Pacifico as?
A positive light, somebody who people love to see and had a good time watching. And if I'm able to take them out, if they're going through a hard time, if I'm able to take them out of that hard time for a few minutes during a match, during a movie, during a podcast, during something that I'm doing, and captivating them for those few minutes, that's my biggest thing I want to be able to do. And never giving up, and teaching people to never give up and never stop fighting for what they believe in.
Couldn't have said it better. Now, last one is this. Is there a message to your fans now that are watching that have been following you through your whole journey?
I love each and every one of you, more than you know, and get ready because it's going to get crazy.
I'm sure we'll do this again for sure. Vinny,
thank you, my friend.
absolute pleasure, guys.
Appreciate it.
Stay tuned. Films, wrestling, all that and about. And we're out until next time.